Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Industrial Strength Hazmat Show, where we focus on industrial hazmat response teams and everything that deals with that, from training to equipment to calls and, well, just sometimes some fun stuff that we do. Mm-hmm. As always, I'm Steve, hazmat technician, and with me are my co-hosts, Jeff and Randy.
I'm Jeff, hazmat technician for a while. Steve or Randy.
Randy. Been on industrial fire department for 18 years, mainly doing hazmat. I also do fire and medical and confined space as well.
Well, you just do it all. I don't give.
You know, man, I found I can channel my ADD by doing a lot of things.
Yeah, I do that, but then I see a squirrel and just
his ADD is more
it's a thing.
HD.
Right. So I think last episode, because this is part 2, right? So last episode we had talked about what, Steve?
So I believe last episode Jeff told us about internal training within departments. He didn't really give us much of a word in there otherwise.
Yeah, it's okay. We're waiting in the wings.
That you didn't have a chance to talk. So
okay, intro team 2, go.
I think today, Steve, let's hear your take on the external training. Because I'd rather not talk.
Yeah. Might need a RIT rescue every once in a while.
That's right. RIT team.
Go. Oh.
So, like we talked about in the previous episode, obviously, we fall under a little bit different field than municipal departments, where you guys are under NFPA and we fall under OSHA. So we have a little bit different requirements. We still meet and exceed those requirements by a long shot. Mm-hmm. But we also tend to do, aside from our own internal training, we like to do mutual trainings with outside departments. So I'm not sure how many of you guys out there on just straight municipal departments do that, or even in other industrial teams. But we like to reach out to multiple teams and invite them in on our trainings. So a lot of that involves our first due companies and then our second due companies as well.
Because you really, when the stuff hits the fan, you're going to be working with plenty of other departments.
Yeah.
Yes. So
and it's better to know who you're going to be working with.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we like to bring them in and do our hands-on scenario trainings that we do, get them familiarized with our facility, and just kind of get the experience of working with them in a training scenario so that when it is a live call, we don't have any issues come up. Although I will say from a hazmat perspective, we don't actually have to call them in too frequently because we do such a good job of handling our own internal issues.
We do. You're right.
Agreed. I think we talked about that in the last episode. Like I said, our trainers are top notch.
Yeah. So I
agree. Not to toot my own horn, but toot toot.
It is. It's one of those things where also, so Steve, like in our neck of the woods, who do we have for other municipal teams around us? So we have like how many different teams so we can work with?
So full-time departments, I would say in the immediate area, we have probably 2. There's a abundance of Valley on-call departments that if it really came down to it, we could call in more than I can count on both hands, probably.
But again, most of those are going to be only at the operations maybe level. I think Firefighter 1 and 2 includes awareness and operations. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to be, they'll be able to do decon.
Mm-hmm.
We always need some help with that.
Seriously, I don't mean to downgrade that.
Mm-hmm. Although, then again,
with some of the stuff that we're doing, it's
if you have
operations
a competent
level isn't going to be good enough.
If you have a competent ops guy, you could stick him with a tech, right? Kind of like, extend your team that way. Yep. But you're right. If all you have is like a sea of ops and one tech, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. But really with those outside departments,
Yeah, with those outside departments, though, we don't work enough with the outside departments that are the volleys. So we don't know who they are. We don't know their competence level.
Yep. But with that being said, I think internally, even though we might not get everyone turn out for every call, we still have enough people show up from our own department for every call that, let's be honest, those volley on calls, by the time they get there, we really only need them for the cleanup and the logistics side of things to grab stuff for us.
That is true. You're great. Absolutely.
Because I think one of the things is with that kind of volley team, it's going to take them an hour to muster, and then they still have to get to our site.
Absolutely.
And our typical call time, like start to finish, a little over an hour. If it's something
90 minutes. Yep.
Yeah, if it's something much more in depth, okay, maybe you're busting 2 or 3 hours, but
yeah, I mean, on average, I would say from page out to our debrief at the station or hot wash after getting all of our gear back in service, we're probably 2 hours.
Yeah,
and that's fully back in service, not just the call we were on.
So it might not make sense for us to have to count on an outside agency, but I think that there's a lot of value in working with those guys too, though.
Absolutely. Not only just from them getting familiarized with our department or facility, but it's a networking thing. We know we can call on those resources if they have equipment that we don't, which it's rare that we don't have it, but sometimes we need that.
Yeah.
Well, in some cases, it is rare that we don't have it, but we've had that where we haven't had it, and we went out and bought it.
Yep.
It's
Our
true.
facility does do a good job of saying, all right, let's give me a reason why we need this. Well, X, Y, and Z. Okay.
But I do know that, like, one of the things that municipal departments have is that sweet grant money. So they get some really nice meters that we don't.
Yes.
They do.
We can't justify that budget, but they get like that grants, and it's just sometimes they got some nice gear.
Yep.
But we have the equipment that serves our need.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we make our own equipment when we can't necessarily go out there and find it readily.
Yep.
We're very good at that too.
We are very resourceful.
So one of the things that we do is we invite our outside departments, municipal departments, to, I would say on average, probably half of the trainings we put on per year. Wouldn't you guys say?
I'd say that's true statement, yeah.
I mean, we have some unique specialized trainings that we do, like just plain inventory and hands-on with our specific meters and stuff like that we might not invite them to. That's more of a kind of classroom setting type thing. But I would say almost all of our hands-on scenarios in the last few years, we've invited at least one of those departments, if not multiples.
Oh, yeah.
And that's actually made for nice relationships to pop up. Like you said, that networking.
Absolutely. And that's led to some other opportunities where our other departments outside of us put on their trainings, and they've invited us because we've asked about them.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, so it's
But
really
it does
kind of
make for
opened up.
great conversation for, equipment,
Yes.
It's going back to that whole equipment thing, but yeah, it makes for great conversation.
Yeah, what do they have? How do they handle a certain problem? Not everyone's going to do it the same, right? So if you're talking like a leaking tank, for us, a tanker, we might have different equipment than the municipal team, or if they have a regional team or a military unit you can train with. Everyone's going to have different gear.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's a little bit of show and tell, but that's the kind of networking that's important, because then you might not be aware of some equipment that's on the market.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's great for us bringing them in, but in a lot of scenarios, we have equipment sitting right there on site. Like if we have a pallet tip over, we have a forklift readily there that we can pick it up and move it out of the way. Whereas if that happens outside of our facility on a highway or something that those departments are responding to, it's nice to kind of train with them on how they would do it, because it gives us different ideas if they have some sort of specialized equipment that they can bring to the site to make it easier while they're waiting for that equipment to show up.
Yep.
Or vice versa. They could say, how would you guys handle this?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we suit up and tip the barrel upright and then call it good.
Calling that guy Leroy Jenkins. He goes at it.
Yep. Leroy Jenkins.
Everyone's got a Mongo.
That's right. And everyone's got a Vince.
Ooh.
So, but you know.
All right, on that note.
Yes. So aside from just our local municipal departments, we also have regional teams in our area as well. I don't know how many of you guys out there also have that luxury of being, what is it, probably 20 minutes away from a regional response team? Would you say?
Yeah. Well,
we should
all the equipment is probably like 10 minutes from our facility.
We should probably talk to the head trainer of the regional facility.
Who would that be?
Oh, wait.
But yeah, like all the gear is about 10 minutes from us, but the team is not like sitting around waiting on that regional team, right? Because once again, it's like a metro team. It's made up from all the municipal departments in the area, so that way it's for them a cost savings, right? They don't have to put on their own team; they can just all chip in. But it makes it harder because then when they actually get a call, they have to muster, and that can take an hour to hour and a half to get the right amount of people.
Yep.
Which is brutal.
Yeah.
Yep. And in most cases, again, we're 3/4 of the way through our call by the time they even show up at our gates.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's a massive issue, we handle it by ourselves on our own.
Agreed. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yep.
Because I can only think of like a handful of times where we ever had a call go a really long time, or we thought about mutual aid. So,
and if you listen to our show, you've heard about a couple of those calls. So
yeah, agreed. So
Absolutely.
we talked about one episode. I think was peroxides. We talked about bringing an outside vendor.
I was going to say there might be special gifts if somebody could email us. But all right, well, we'll go with that one.
Well,
then.
okay, I need one. Let's see if they can get the other one.
But I believe we actually have another call that maybe falls in line with one of our specialists in that same category that we had go on for hours, if I'm not mistaken.
We sure did, man. That was
maybe.
I think maybe we'll be talking about that one in a future episode.
Yeah, that was good because that was a very unusual set of circumstances. And I know I'm going to wait to say what happened because of it, because that's good. It's going to make for a great episode.
It'll be a great show.
It will make for a great show. So.
But back to our regional teams. If you do have a regional team out there, how many of you guys are available to just join that team without being on one of those municipal departments within the team? Because that's one of the luxuries that we actually have with our regional team.
Very much so. We have the ability
I heard a phone. Yes.
That our
not me.
Yeah, that our regional team will accept members from the industrial team, which is phenomenal. So, and it's just that strengthens it because I don't want to speak ill, but we get so many more actual calls than the regional team do, and we never need mutual aid, so they never get the reps that we do.
Yep.
And actually, the amount of individuals that we have on our team tops any of the surrounding areas per member.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if I'm saying that right, but
No, I think our total membership on the industrial team is higher than I think most municipal teams, and our total number of hazmat technicians is higher than any hazmat team in the area.
Yeah,
I think that's what you're trying to say. If I
think there may
correctly.
only be 2 other teams in the entire state that have as many or more technicians than we do.
Yeah, we're just the quiet
that would
resource.
have to be on the other side of the state.
I would agree.
Yeah. One of it may be strictly military based, but
Fair enough.
So, yeah.
And with that being said, aside from our regional team, we also, again, within a half an hour's distance, actually have a military unit, National Guard response team for hazmat.
Yeah. And they got the cool toys.
Yes,
They do. Oh yeah.
They get, I would say, out of probably any team in the state, they not only get the best toys, but they're probably one of maybe 2 or 3 teams that rivals us in our training.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are very, very good at what they do, and they just have funding. Oh my gosh.
They have a good time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Their suits are
Not as
definitely
good as us, but
no.
that's
Their
right up
suits are
there.
definitely different from everything we use, and their equipment is just like very costly and very cool.
Yes. And,
But
and
they
they
also
drill
have
hard
funds
when they
behind
drill
them as
on
well.
it too.
Mm-hmm.
So aside from our regional and military units, what other kind of training groups do you guys kind of know about in your areas? Because there's resources out there for sure, such as Fools.
Ooh, I heard
Or I know, built for you and I, Jeffrey.
Yes.
And as Randy has told us many times, there's also Shut Up and Train.
Yes. But yeah, those are good regional. I think they're both actually national organizations. Shut Up and Train Fools. They got chapters across the U.S. and those are excellent because once again they are devoted just to training. Right? They are like a regional training resource that you can bring into your industrial department to make yourself better. In addition to training with, whatever municipal teams there are, and if you got a county team or a military team, those are all a ton of excellent resources. And I am not afraid to say, I think we have probably at one point or another bumped into or used all those resources in training.
Yeah, and I think another one that's a big proponent is some federal training that's out there for free. There's a lot of different ones that get put on, such as down in, I believe it's Louisiana. They have some specialized training, and out in Nevada, amongst other ones that it's put on for free. They'll fly you out to those, put up your lodging and everything. So it's a good thing to look into.
Yeah, but let's not forget, we have some special guys that have produced a book, the Hazmat guys, and they put out a book out there, and it gives you some training ideas.
It's true.
They put a book out?
They have
They
multiple
put
books.
several books out.
Yeah.
So
And
the
they-
Hazmat guys,
Yeah.
they have some great material out there.
Well, they do. I mean, the books are good. I've read the 2 that I was able to get my hands on, and I heard that there's going to be another, I think. But those, once again, are great ways of shaking up what could be dusty training. I'll put it like that. So it's a good way of breaking it up, maybe bringing some new light to drills. And that, you can think about that like a regional kind of resource too. So, because that book is phenomenal. I know I've looked at, I think you guys have looked at them too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's just, it's a great way of breaking it up and bringing drills. I know a couple I would not have thought of. And so incorporating those, right, making them your own. It's kind of like imitation's the finer form of, what is it? Imitation is a form of flattery.
Yes.
So take it and make it your own.
Speaking along those lines with the Hazmat guys, one of the other resources out there for mutual training and networking is conferences in your area.
Yeah,
like we're lucky enough to have actually met the Hazmat guys at our state's conference.
Yeah.
And many other different resources and networking opportunities there.
Yes.
So if you guys have those out there, look into joining those as well.
Yeah.
Right. So conferences. Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
The knowledge you walk away with from any of those conferences is phenomenal, and it gives you great topics to talk about and to expand your network on as far as training goes.
Yeah. And here's the thing. So that touches on, so from moving on from internal training to external training partners to now paid training, going to those conferences has proven very valuable for us. Not only do we go and we send people and it makes them smarter on subjects, but I can also tell you the vendor experiences.
Yeah.
No, it's made us better. The vendor experiences, we've run across some things that we brought home, petitioned for, and got, which I think we've talked about, like MagnaSeal is one of those things. We caught those guys years ago, and it made so much sense for us. We bought like 2 full sets.
Okay, so yeah, as far as the training goes, it's top notch. I was just thinking of the other extracurricular activities.
That's after conference stuff, friend.
The extracurricular debauchery that goes on.
You're talking about the cups that smell like bad ideas.
Just because somebody thinks that certain drinks are super warm.
Oh gosh, I wish we could have brought that episode. That would have meant so much to.
You know what? There's always next year, Jeff. There's always next year, friend.
But,
we can do it next year.
We'll save the idea and we'll try it again.
Yeah.
But
along those same lines of the conferences, some of those other vendors and suppliers that we meet at those conferences are also another resource to bring into external training resources.
Right.
Such as your transportation suppliers. Like we've had our railroad company that runs through come in and put on specific trainings with us. As well as PPE suppliers have came in and watched our trainings to learn how we do things and see what they can actually kind of innovate out of their equipment to help all of us responders out there.
Just the networking that you can get out of there is phenomenal.
And here's one other thing. So to kind of circle back a bit, you talked about the Hazmat Guys book. We're talking about training. They also, if I'm not mistaken, offer on-site training for teams. So if you're looking for something different altogether, you can actually bring in companies to help you train, including the Hazmat Guys. They're one of a group of companies that can do that. But for what it's worth, having gone through their classes, they're pretty entertaining, pretty engaging. They'd be a great resource. But that's another avenue, right? So paid trainers, bring them on site to work with as well, as opposed to working internally by yourselves or working with municipal partners.
Absolutely. And along those lines of the Hazmat Guys, I think we've already talked about conferences. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention possibly one of the most hyped conferences by good reason
coming up in Florida.
Sometime next spring, I believe. Or
the southernmost?
Early spring, yes.
Isn't it February?
I believe so.
So, what a shame. It's in Florida in February when it's going to be miserable in the northern climates. Weird.
Let me think. Okay.
Right. So in. But, so that's a good thing too, right? So state conferences are great. You talked about federal training. I'm also going to put a bug in people's ear about nationwide conferences. So I'm talking NFPA. So
NFPA, there's FEMA.
Yep.
It's FEMA. I believe it is.
But
FEMA.
NFPA puts out a conference, and I was lucky enough to go, and I want you guys to think about going next year if you're available. I think both of you were busy with other things, but it's a great way of actually networking again and bringing back some training. Some of it touching on hazmat, a lot of it dealing with fire, but some of it deals directly with training too. Setting up training, how to facilitate it, how to do it better. So it's a way of maybe sending your trainers to learn how to be better trainers.
Train the trainers.
Yes. And
train the trainers.
Yep. Train the trainers. And big proponent of that is just the networking side of things at those conferences. Mm-hmm. Those, not necessarily the in-person, in-class sessions, but the after-hours sessions, just getting to know your other trainers that are there.
Yeah.
It's amazing the brainstorming philosophies that come up just sitting around in the lobbies talking to these guys.
Yep. It's that networking. It's that conversation. Like Steve said, it's just talking. I mean, you'd be surprised the conversations you can have. And whether you have a cocktail in hand or not, or 20
a wig on head.
You can come up with some great conversations, and
bring it or not, that's how this show came about. One of those great conversations after hours.
Yep.
So, And it worked out very well. I'm very happy it worked out that way because it came from an idea of just, talking about it to presenting it on, a much larger scale. Because I think we've talked about this before. While municipal departments have the ability to network and talk with one another and train with one another much easier, industrial departments aren't that way, man. We are like weird secular hermits that we don't like talking and dealing with one another. You like hearing each other's stories and then bringing it back home, but we don't do the networking so well.
No, we don't.
Although I seem to remember some tech class certifications with another industrial team that we did do some good networking and training together in that scenario.
We did.
And I know exactly what you're talking about. And your class was different than mine, but it was the same type of environment. Yep.
Yes.
Well, we are always one of a kind.
Yes. It was a wonderful after-hours mixer.
Both of our teams are one of a kind. Yes, you are correct.
But, that was also very good because then you're right. That was a great example of two industrial teams. They got to let off some steam, talk, and compare how we were organized and how we worked. And that was very, very interesting because
yes.
I am kind of coming to the conclusion that no two industrial teams are alike. So we all work independently and we're all slightly different.
Okay, so
yes.
I agree with that, but I disagree.
Okay.
We're not alike, but we are alike.
Well, mentality-wise, we are alike, yes. But we get the job done in two completely different fashions.
Okay, so I agree with that statement, yes.
And we also deal with two completely different resource bases.
That is also true.
Yeah. Well, just like our guests, right? One was semiconductor and one was nuclear, and there's no way we're doing the same things that they're doing.
So we could have another guest on in the near future. Any guesses on who that could be?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
It could be you. Oh, wait.
But before we get to next guest episodes, I believe we probably have a third round, part 3 of our training episode, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we might.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So stay tuned. We got odds and ends to bring up on training, but we will save that for another time because we are at the end of our time now.
So for those who would like to be a guest on one of our future episodes, Jeffrey, how can they reach out to us?
Here's one of 3 ways. You can reach out to us at hazmatharder@gmail.com. Randy, what's another way?
So if you go to YouTube, we have a YouTube channel. You can go and comment on any of our episodes under the video. Leave your comments there, and we'll see them there. And Steve, what's another way?
You could also go to hazmatharder.com, which also has a list of all of our current episodes out there. And you can click on one of those episodes and leave a comment or leave us an email through that website as well.
Mm-hmm.
So until next time, Hazmat Harder.
Hazmat
Harder.